game's done.
Yep.
But for me, it feels like DK is trying something where, like, we know Lucid Sejuani's extremely flippy, always has been. And we know Showmaker's Yone just doesn't have the same impact. And when Showmaker doesn't have impact, especially with how aiming in particular, but Barrel also in the last game we're playing, I don't think you get away with it. The top side needs to play well for this team to actually have a shot at beating T1. Again, Shiu, no notes. I'm kind of shocked at how comfortably, seemingly has bounced back from what was a really rough round 2. Or not round 2, you know what I mean. Round 3 to 5, but the second half.
Yep.
Of the year, as there is the respect then towards Lucid's Zed, which makes me wonder, are we B1ing Toronto?
Oh, God.
Is that what we're doing? No!
It is a very scary prospect.
No.
Another thing is, T1 have been banning tanks all day, and so now they can only ban one of the tanks. Are we going to... I don't know.
You know what, actually...
Maybe it's a Trundle ban into Sion first pick. That's what I'm thinking.
You know what the rage bait angle is?
Oh, God, what is
they
it?
banned it.
Never mind.
I was about to say, they B1 Trundle and then DK pick Sion into it, and we just lose our...
Oh, no.
They pick like Sion Maokai, and you're like, oh no! That's not gonna happen.
the avenue they want to take out of LoL Park today.
Well, hey, you told me there's new content for Barrel to play.
Hey, that is very true. That is very true. However, it will be around for a long time. You know, it's not going anywhere, Barrel. It's okay. You've got until after Worlds if that's how long it takes. That's okay. The Gwen going to be banned away here. One final ban on the side of Dplus. See what they do decide to target. I want them to ban Xayah. And then put yourself together a Kai'Sa composition or something like that. That's what I was sort of hoping for. That's not what we're going to get. Nocturne going to be taken away from Ona.
I think Annie, Talia, for me are the standouts, but it's just...
First
Doran,
big Sion.
Yeah, Doran has been a team player his entire career. That has not changed, and it will not change in this game either.
Italy.
Yes, send it.
Why not?
Why not?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but
no,
it's a bit of a why not, you know? Renekton's the last champion people have been okay picking into Sion.
It's yeah, unless we go towards like the Camille's, the Cho'Gaths.
You just named 2 champions that really caused a lot of PTSD.
Okay, the Shield Camille, I'm willing to rerun. That one I'm okay with. If it's Cho'Gath, we can leave. That's okay. I'm fine with that.
Well, Nautilus is going to be locked in.
For Barrel, there is not as many like really good Nautilus. He picked one of the best ones just now, so I don't think the Nautilus has to be super worried. I guess this does open Renata, so maybe T1 just like slam Kalista Renata on the next patch.
Oh wow!
It's going to be the Gnar here for Shiu. They're trusting him, which I think, given how he's been playing here today, is warranted. It does make setup a lot harder, because I actually would have loved the Renekton. I think Renekton Nautilus is just a really strong combo.
Yeah, it would have worked. See what else they have planned here is the Talia is going to be picked up. Oh god, no.
Poppy's still open as well.
Do you know what the worst thing about this is? Dplus immediately lock Ahri. That's what's going to happen. Well, the Vi is going to come through instead. Vi Talia is still very potent.
So, it's a clear Swain angle.
I mean, I'd like Swain way more than I'd like Ahri. I don't like Ahri very much at all.
I don't think you pick Ahri at this point. Xin Zhao's gone. Vi's been taken out the pool as well. We've even seen Jarvan and Wukong, right?
Yep.
Those are picks that theoretically... That I like a lot more. I actually think that is really, really solid. Talia, one of her weaknesses is champions that's sufficiently outrange her. I also actually like Ziggs into Vi. Obviously, if Vi goes really deep, she can take you down, but you will generally take her down with you. If you are good with the mines, you have the capability of getting your ult off, you're a really big threat. This is still flexible, of course. It could also be like, I don't know, we actually might end up getting like middle-y Tristana.
Could happen.
Tristana Maokai is one that I would be looking towards. I do think that T1's going to ban Maokai though. Will be my guess. We're getting to that part of the game where I feel like we're really diving deep into pools. As what we ban like Poppy Renata. I like Poppy Renata. I think those are good bans.
I wouldn't mind Poppy Xayah as well, just because Gumayusi's champion pool has really been kind of struck down at this point.
Playing Xayah into Ziggs.
That's true. That doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun.
I'm like, I think that with the Ziggs locked in,
maybe that's enough. Maybe that's enough.
Yeah, they might still go for it. We'll see. But also, I mean, with how Aiming has been playing today, I wouldn't mind if you just put him on Ziggs and just have him on wave clear duty.
Yep, doesn't sound like a bad idea.
We will see. Lucid. So they're going to ban Lee, and then they're going to ban... What else are they going to ban?
Should it be the Maokai?
Junglers. I think Maokai makes sense. Lucid Maokai is notorious for bad reasons. We do remember that.
He could just play Lilia again. Honestly, that one was kind of okay.
I mean, I guess it's fine. I think if you go Lilia, like Lilia Nautilus is not the end of the world, I guess.
We'll see. One final ban here from T1 before we get into the rest of the picks. See what it is going to be. We're likely to be sticking into the jungle, making sure that Owner's matchup is going to be as good as it can possibly be. Question is what it's going to be.
Oh, I like that.
Fury taken away.
About that. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. It's a good ban. Lucid's played it a lot, and we have seen him play.
This has been the classic counter into the Vi.
Very consistently. Yeah, and I think it makes sense. We've seen it a lot. What does Lucid have?
Oh, God. The freshly buffed Kassadin.
Oh my God! You know, in Showmaker there is always the goblin, the green goblin mask that says, or I guess it's purple in this case, that says "Pick me." Please.
Well, I do remember a certain 2020 LCK final where he looked pretty good, but instead it's going to be the Maokai. And so we are not transported back 5 years. We are instead looking at a pretty decent draft so far, as Tristana Pickaway would be very cute if they did decide to do that.
Yeah, the biggest thing now is, what do they want to play bot? Because you can either go hyper carry, which works because you have decent front line.
Yep. Or
you go like Kalista Renata. I think those are actually your two options, given what we have seen so far. And Aphelios Fresh does make sense. Fresh can struggle into Nautilus, but that is a throwback, obviously, Atlas. This is what Keria and Guma originally, way back, made their name on. When you think back to the early splits, was an Aphelios meta. And that and Jinx, we saw countless times. Keria's Fresh, also very exciting. And it makes sense as well with the Vi and the Taliyah.
And we are going to be putting the Ziggs in the bottom lane by the looks of things, as that Tristana will be locked in.
Are we?
Well, that's actually a good point. Theoretically, the Trist could stay towards the bottom side.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering what they want to do here. The main reason why is, like, do you really want to be playing the Tristana into Taliyah? It looks like that is going to be the case. So we are just playing for aiming on wave clear duty. And
Tristana doesn't like Vi very much, because you can't Buster Shot her away until after she's hit you with the ultimate.
Yeah, I guess the thought process here is that if you do get early visits, the burst that Showmaker has is obviously great.
Yep.
And then you have the capability of buffering out of almost everything on Tristana, as we know. Maokai Trist is a classic combo. And I'm more excited about it. It could have been like Maokai Yone. I know Yone was picked last game, but like, that's...
Maokai Viego?
No, that's actually fun. That's still, I think that should... Imagine if they did that a lot. They couldn't. It was blind. I know.
Yeah.
Atlas, looking at these drafts, I think that one of our predictions is holding strong.
Well, I mean, wait, so it could go either way. Is that what you're saying?
I think one of our predictions, not the other, is holding strong.
But we don't, yeah, but like you're saying one of our predictions is holding strong.
Read my face, Atlas, which, would I be
my prediction.
Would I be gloating?
It's mine. Yeah, no, you wouldn't, because you don't care about predictions, so it must be mine. Wow, I can't believe that you, because I don't think that this draft is necessarily going to win, but if the analyst says so, he says so. Let's jump into the Rift for game number 4.
생산까지 30초 남았습니다.
All right, you should have seen Chronicler's face the entire time those fan chants were going on.
I did kind of walk it. Well, she looked at me with that like, hey, got you. And guess what? You did. You did get me, Atlas. I hope you're happy.
I'm very happy, actually. This is where I get my joy. It's going to be really, really difficult when you're gone.
I would actually like a 5th game. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, same.
I don't...
생성되었습니다.
I think we'll know pretty quickly. I don't think it'll be this one.
I also don't think the drafts are going to play much into it. I personally
drafts
think that like,
don't matter. It's just it's
Yeah.
tempo vibes.
Yeah, and also like DK have struggled to come back in situations where they have fallen behind in a series. We've seen it many times before, and that's what it kind of felt like looking at game number 3. Now they could always turn it around, but we'll just have to see whether they can actually make that one happen. As Owner starting off on his red buff, going to mean mirrored starts here. As Beryl's lit on fire very early on. That's a flayback as well, as he has to use the heal. Gumyushi down to 50%, but so is Beryl.
Yeah, I don't know about trying the trade with the level 1 Aphelios when we're running Ziggs with TP.
Yeah.
It's optimistic, that's for sure.
If it works, though.
Well, it didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think you're really meant to have any control of the wave as aiming really just wants to get as much gold as he can. Base, come back with... I think in this game, I'm kind of wondering. Ox isn't here today, so I'm gonna be trying my very best to kind of parse like what type of build you would like. I think that this is a game where you just send it with full damage. They're not really dive focused. If it was actual, like, if this was an Ahri or a Kai'Sa, you know, I think it would make sense.
Yeah.
But in this game, I think you just you play for the one tap. Play roll damage.
Taking a fair bit of damage here as there's a nice little satchel back onto Gumyushi.
There is a bit of an angle if they can't crash the wave here for a bot lane gank. Now Lucid is Maokai, so his clear is not quite that fast. And there is also a ward, but we'll see if DK can try and set up for that.
Yeah. Oh no, it won't be towards that bottom side of the map as cannons are going to get traded, although we will not see it. Still, Showmaker decides to dive on top of Faker here. Does get the explosive charge, and that is decent damage.
Yeah, Faker actually got one rock there. Like, it looked like it was just at the very edge, which actually made that trade a lot better than I think it would have otherwise been. Still, obviously, as Tristana, if you jump on top of your opponent, something like Talia isn't really going to be able to out-trade you. Doesn't look like we will be getting any early ganks either, as Guma has already made his way back, and now we are getting the lane swap, which you'd much rather be Sion in a lane swap. I think that's obvious.
Well, Doran
that was optimistic.
Yeah.
As far as TPs go, that is actually a good amount of damage. Now, there's no Lucid in the area, so he won't be in too much trouble, but not ideal here for Doran, but he has 2 cookies.
And he's also got a fairy in a bottle. And we know that gives you all your hearts back.
How broken would that be, Atlas?
It would be pretty silly. Although GA exists.
Oh,
So
this
does,
is
well, Chrono Shift. Chrono Shift is actually what
if
it
this
is.
was like year 2 of or year 1 of League, like season 1,
Yeah.
you would have a 1 in 100 chance that glowing mode would activate on death. Like the one. Remember when we had like the 1% crit chance rune? And you're like, well, 1 out of 100 times it's gonna win me the lane.
As Beryl is not going to quite find the anchor there, but Showmaker still goes in and has to flash because the seismic shove is put down. Good reflexes from the GOAT in the mid lane there, and we get a crying little teacup. Understandably so. Gumyushi is just going to take a plate as aiming throws some water balloons all over the floor, but otherwise DK not really finding the angle there as far as matching the lane swap is concerned.
Yeah, Barrel showing on mid, and the play not working means they give up flash for aiming to lose like half a wave in a play. So it's not the best trade.
I would put it in the cons column personally, as she was finding some hyperprocs here. Onto Doran.
Doesn't really have that much damage yet, so not going to be too crazy, but not the most fun lane for Doran. Will get infinitely worse though.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, I feel like in the early game, there are actually times where Mininar can just die to a Scion.
Oh, for sure.
We've seen it many times, but it's not until later on where the side lane threat should be there for Xiu, and he has been their best player so far. The problem is that the matchup doesn't really matter for Doran, because we know him as a player that plays pretty selflessly on the Scion.
He's
really does
Scion.
maximize the passive value.
Yeah, it kind of goes both ways, right? And it looks like DK is very intent on keep or continuously keeping them in the original lanes, matching the swap, and they have TP, so that actually isn't that hard for them. This is the first time Aiming had to use his. Beryl has TP available now as well, and I assume we'll be TPing towards the bot lane, unless they want to look for a contest on this early Drake, but no, not going to be the case here. Showmaker still doesn't have flash, by the way, and Owner almost has access to his ultimate. Lucid's Maokai, and I feel like we should bring up the fact that, as mentioned, Lucid did not really excel. This was last year during the Maokai beta.
Yeah.
Often playing it way too aggressive. And I gotta say, thus far, this Tristana into Taliyah hasn't felt super great. I do think you're really playing for your one-item spike. That's kind of when you turn into a real champion. And obviously Tristana also skills insanely well, but I think the early game here going really well for T1 without too much events transpiring. Is again they swap.
This
they
is
really,
Yeah, we are kind of playing a little bit of ring around the rosy. Showmaker, he can't rocket jump over that. Health bar looking a little worse for wear. Is Carrier going to turn up and make sure that they claim all of the tempo? Speaking of tempo, that is going to be Unstoppable Onslaught here for Doran. Moving down towards that bottom side, very satisfyingly clearing out the wave. And it does, like, oftentimes feel like you get to cheat tempo with a Ziggs. But T1 demonstrating here that they can do the same thing. What with Sion being able to move so incredibly quickly to these side lanes.
All right, you gotta
and all that other stuff.
You gotta keep Guma away from this turret.
Yeah, he does have Crescendo.
And it looks like they'll be able to. I don't think they really want to contest too heavily. Is Vi really good at taking early dragons with her W. And T1 just keep playing ring around droids. What this does mean as well is that we are not actually seeing Aiming be able to utilize his passive at all.
Nope.
Right, like he's not getting damage on turrets. Neither is Showmaker. So that's kind of the price that DK is paying for responding to these lane swaps. As Lucid, I mean, they do have control of the pit here. We'll see if they actually... This is a kind of an ideal scenario for Maokai, though. Forcing them to walk into you. You can get a lot of value on your ultimate, but don't forget, Baker has a wall.
Barrel 6, Carrier is not the box, not necessarily the most valuable, as there is a hook connecting. Flash out of the way of another hook there from Carrier as the wall comes down. And Barrel in a little bit of an awkward spot. Great buffer there from Showmaker, as now Owner just separated from the rest of the team, and he'll be taken out. First blood goes to the Tristana, and a great start here for DK.
That's a very big deal. As Beryl, this time the engage hits true. It looks a little silly at first because he goes in and then flashes.
Yeah.
Guma doesn't use his sums. But I think it kind of baited T1 in. Owner goes way too deep and thinking that he can get the kill with Faker. But even if Showmaker doesn't get that buffer, I think it's actually really... The Taliyah doesn't have that much early damage, right? So we see here T1, they always go for these fights. There is the flash setup. But Showmaker, just with a second, finds the buffer.
Oh, and the Moonlight Vigil went completely wide.
Yeah, and then there was the ultimate for Beryl that made sure that Guma couldn't try and salvage the fight by just ordering them to death.
Cool, there is an arrow into the wall here from Shoes. Still looking a little bit low, but does hit the mini, and that's going to allow this chase down to come on through. Good hop to avoid the Sion damage, but yeah, your health bar just isn't quite as beefy as that of Doran's right now.
The big thing is that Shiyu is mini and Doran has his ult, so he needs to be very careful. Scary has Wade in.
Yeah, lying in wait. That was cheeky. But he's not... Oh,
yeah, they
wow.
him.
Yeah. Oh, did they actually? Okay.
Yeah, I saw pings.
I actually thought that maybe it was Spidey senses that were tingling in the young top laner, but wasn't actually the case. So he was able to walk that one off.
Kraken now done for Showmaker. That is a big spike coming through here. That's what we were talking about earlier. And it means that DK actually does have a good lead. The Dragons on Soul Sill today are kind of crazy, Atlas.
Yeah. I feel like Ox is at home paying very close attention.
Oh, he has been.
Because we've had 0 Chemtech Souls so far.
Yeah, which is crazy. I introduced him to a new game yesterday. I thought he was just going to be playing it all day.
He might be, but maybe he has...
Maybe he does both.
Yeah, a bit of second monitor stuff going on.
Arguably might be even more locked in than if he was fully focusing on the game.
I'm pretty sure he's also playing RuneScape. So he needs a game where he can play RuneScape and said game and still pay attention to the LCK. And then he's all right.
Looking for a play onto Shield here as Lucid is in the area.
Yeah, Faker just going to be able to set up this wave. Cannon minions are pretty tempting. As Gumayusi is going to walk towards owner there. Showmaker, probably not too worried about Doran.
Yeah, but he also doesn't really do damage. Because I remember, well, once upon a time, Kraken Slayer was like the tank shredding item.
Yeah.
It's a long...
It's been a while.
It's been a while. And also, Doran has a Sunfire game. So.
Yeah,
So
he's not going to be dying. He's not going to stop Showmaker from killing all the minions, though. Which is what Showmaker wants to do.
I'm kind of... Oh. Okay, it doesn't walk into it. I want to highlight as well. Shio is going to be a champion that I don't think... Oh, hold up, Lucid.
Yeah, we'll be in a little bit of trouble here. Bramble Smash to try and get Carrier away. As the hook, he's going to guess the angle as Weaver's Wall comes down, and Lucid is just really dead. They'll give the kill over to Gumayusi as well because they have that luxury. Aiming did a fair bit of damage here as Faker is going to have to go back, but that should mean Double Dragon over to T1 in 35 seconds time as they get that control, unless Beryl finding a hook angle, but no real follow-up is available. Mega Inferno Bomb was already down, as Shiu going to be able to get himself a plate.
Yeah, I actually think that DK should get Drake off of this, which kind of feels weird, but Doran was forced to TP towards top side.
Yeah, that TP coming through is a big deal.
So, yeah, because what happened there, I think they wanted Faker to TP top because it's much easier for him to roam with his ultimate. That doesn't actually come through. As we take another look here, the biggest issue for DK here is that they're always going to be down a member. Lucid tries to like find a W, but still gets hit by the ultimate. Unfortunately, again, wouldn't have mattered. There was no way that he was getting out of that one. But what it does mean is that because Shiu kept pushing topside, someone on T1 needs to respond. You want it to be Faker, but because his back got cancelled, I think that they sent Doran up top to try and match, which ended up paying off because the turret didn't go down. But now Shiu has TP advantage, and Lucid's back up. Leandris is done as well. I think DK actually have a good angle if they can execute on it, and that's always the question.
Yeah, Beryl is going to be able to buffer the hook, but another form of CC comes in right into the seismic shove as Beryl flashes, but it's not going to matter. Still, it's a trade as Faker does go down, as red white guns are set up for Gumayusi, but without Talia, this contest is going to be hard.
Yeah, that's while we saw Beryl go down, Lucid just engaged onto Faker, blew him up. Not a lot of counterplay there as they're looking for the steal. There's a lot of burst on Vi.
Yeah, he does want to go in, try and take this one away, but Bramble Smash exists! And Lucid is able to secure the Dragon. Feats of Warfare come in for DK, and they're set up for the Feats of Objective as well. That's not what it's called. Does it have a special name?
Good enough, Atlas.
Thank you.
I'm not complaining. Except about the names. I feel like I kind of wanted them to be, you know, like super over the top.
Yeah, I mean, Feats of Warfare exists for that reason.
Yeah, that one's good.
And
it has the drama.
I'm pretty sure Captain Flowers also said Feats of Objective at one time because he was like, why doesn't it have a cool name?
I think it is just that.
Yeah. Well, Doran is now in a lot of trouble. Like a big amount of, many troubles have been picked up here as the flash does have to come through. Shiu is going to die for it. And Doran is going to try and run to the wave, try and take it down.
Shiu was sitting on a lot of gold.
Are we going to say worth for that one, and for who?
I think it's worth for the Gnar. I think anything that gets you to Triforce Cleaver faster is good.
Sounds about right.
As we take a look here, so we saw what happened to Beryl, right? Just gets comboed very straightforward. But look at Lucid here. Flash engages onto Faker, Showmaker's ready, and that's now 3 kills going over, because obviously in the extended play here, they think that they can both get the Dragon. This is T1 trying to bite off a little bit too much.
And Lucid nails the timing this time around. That's character development right there. You love to see it.
Now we have another fight here, and DK, I think, should be looking to contest here again.
And it's another Cloud Soul as well. You love to see that.
Aiming, by the way, building full damage. You'll love to see that as well.
Yeah, couple of books. Some codices.
Oh, this might be a big fight here. Look at Doran.
Yeah, already just going to press that R button. He will oh, never mind. Gets past the little wall. And that is just a dead Lucid immediately. Owner has overextended, but he's able to flash back over that wall. Mega Inferno Bomb does a fair bit of damage, but now Shiu, what the heck are you doing there, my friend? He is just going to die. And DK, they found a great angle, and then they threw it in the bin.
Is Doran making the difference there? As I mean, they do have passive. Oh?
Yeah, that's a really nice little flick back and aiming. Going to be able to pick up that kill. Was that a satchel? Offensive satchel usage worked out? That's crazy.
I'm really happy to report that in this group it looks like, or in this game, it looks like we are in fact back to It's Rice group, baby.
Oh, yes.
A lot of back and forth. Oh, the trap on the owner here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was like, do they have more? I'm pretty sure it's just Showmaker that's Vi. So they did not have more.
It was indeed just Showmaker.
So I want to take a look again here because I feel like DK was looking for the opportunity. I think Lucid thought he was out of range, wasn't quite. Ends up getting taken down, and then thanks to the flash, owner stays alive. And then here, Shiyu, he got hit by the shove from Faker, which is what ended up killing him, which is why he was in such a bad position. That was nice by T1. This, though, was completely unnecessary.
Really nice setup, though. The fact that Beryl was there ready with the anchor. Yeah. Nicely played.
And now that makes it kind of even. Harold went over to T1, so I do think they'll be able to... And they got the topside turret, so it's definitely in favor of them. But it's also not the end of the world. For DK, Showmaker, second item done. Aiming, second item done. And these Drake fights, I think, are going to be big as...
Weaver's Wall going to come on through here as Beryl. No choice but to really start a fight here as the box goes down. Lucid finds the Nature's Grasp as Carrier flashes himself out of the way. And now Beryl looking for the angle. The hook is going to get blocked there by Ona. Oh, it's so selfless. But they put a billion wards on top of the lantern. And the light, unfortunately, could not be found as DK will be able to find the one little pick.
Beryl on the Nautilus, I think, actually finding continuously these good fights is...
Oh my god, as you say it.
That's good, yeah, it's Tristan. It's Tristan 6. That turret is gone!
Very, very dead. They all, like, there is a lot of Yordles that like killing turrets, because this Gnar is in a very similar boat.
He was such a psycho.
He takes a turret.
Wait,
shot.
Showmaker's coming.
Yeah, they're looking for an angle here. Meganar is actually going to come on through as Doran. He does have ulti, so he can avoid that level of CC, but Death is also CC. Showmaker now level 12 is starting to draw some pretty good beats.
Yeah, DK has also learned from the dive incident in the last game, where they
that's
they
a
went
dangerous statement.
On display.
Ah, yes.
Display they did.
They did in this play.
So this fight is kind of messy. It's actually quite fun. Carrier looks for a pick. Then it looks like he's getting engaged on. Owner's engaged, then doesn't find a mark of the barrel because aiming's there and he can't engage through. Showmaker gets a really good buffer, and both top laners show up. But it's that hook from Barrel that cancels the Q from Owner. And then at that point, T1, they actually, funnily enough, they want a front to back. This is just a front to back composition, right?
Yeah.
You're just looking, like, obviously Vi, you want to have her set up, but you have an Aphelios. Like, the champion is extremely good at what it does, but you can't really be having this messy team. Like, he can't fend for himself.
Yeah, and
There's
the problem is...
even with him being 3-0, like, he can't just walk up. He will just get focused and die.
Not to mention the fact that aiming can always hit the back line.
Yes.
Because he make big circle.
Yep. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Like, big number and Wally boom.
Yep. That's how that goes. Even I can figure that one out. As nice little seismic shove there onto Doran, but he has health bars for days.
They're really trying to... Both DKs trying to really heavily play towards taking the turret, which I think they can.
They should be able to do so, as the Otacon is also here.
Harold's there. Harold's there, yeah. They're going to drop Harold on mid.
I mean, Gumayushi will be able... Like, if he's ever able to hit this turret, it just goes boom. Beryl uses his teleport to get towards it.
There's 3 champions in this game where if they hit turret, it does just go boom.
Yeah.
We are really being erudite and eloquent today, Atlas.
Oh, we are. It's Razor speak the whole time. That's what we want to do. You wouldn't get that, but that's fine. There are some others.
I don't need to get it get it, Atlas.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, as Hook does confirm that Otacon is there, but doesn't appreciate being leashed. As T1 ready for a fight.
So eyes done for Guma here. T1's fight are going to be about trying to keep him safe.
Well, Otacon is still just messing with
We're not actually.
The Rift Herald does come on through.
Guys.
Yeah, Otacon into
They're not. They know. Harold, I assume, was timing out. We'll still get the charge. Not going to be enough to actually get more than that, but it's still a little win here.
It's weird because I feel like the tempo vibes have moved towards DK, and that's not a game 4 feeling I'm used to for this
Oh, I'm
game.
sure they'll start Otacon for no.
Oh, as I say that, never mind, she was going to back away. So Otacon still being held onto here by Lucid. As Doran, oh man, if he's unseen, as there's the knock-up onto Ona, he's in a bit of trouble as the bouncing bomb not going to find him. Does have to use his flash though in that instance.
That's an old used. As again,
Yeah.
like he's just walking up and seeing the one. Maybe like I know you're there.
I'm pretty sure.
So that is a flash traded for a barrel ult. So DK gonna be very happy with that.
Should theoretically be good news, but we haven't seen, like, and I actually like this, right? The Otacon hasn't been committed for by anyone.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think in the long game, I like DK's position more.
I mean,
Because they actually...
If you saw this draft and the name said Keen, Canyon, Chovy, Ruler, Duro...
we'd be talking about how the game was done.
Yeah. We would have been talking about that from minute 1 and then talking about
no,
life.
Atlas, come on. We try to do our job here, okay?
Oh, yes, sorry.
In minute 10.
I forgot we were going for that fast
yes.
today.
Even the doing the
I
job,
started
even
it.
the doing the job is a bit. There's too many bits. There's too many layers.
We're an
So-
onion. Or an ogre. Not entirely sure which.
Because the range advantage is there for DK, they have really good counter engage while also having good engage. But especially the fact that if you just have these two teams face off, Ziggs reigns supreme. And later in the game, so will Tristana.
By the way,
for DK, I mean, for DK, I think that as long as they, and in game 1 they shockingly did keep it together.
They did.
I really like their position in this game.
well, we'll see whether that is going to continue. I have an important question to ask in the meantime.
Oh no.
You know Slurkles exist.
Yes.
What is the shape of the Mega Inferno Bomb?
Is it a Durkle?
Like a
Is it-
damage circle?
A death circle.
That's the Durkle! I love it. I was going to go with a Buckle. Because it goes
Bomb
boom.
circle.
A
Oh
boom,
my god, barrel
a boom
almost
circle.
got fucked.
But Durkle just, there is some real, like, that hits home.
I don't like it.
I like that a lot. Thank you
don't.
very
I
much,
really
Chronicler. It's all right.
we
Lucid
go.
going in, looking for an angle on to carry it. He puts the box down. Mega Inferno Bomb's there. And the Thresh is now gone. Depth charge means that Gumayushi cannot do much damage to follow up. But still, with only Thresh down, is this an Otacon angle? Not sure about it, as Lucid's health bar is pretty low.
They need more poke for sure.
Gonna need to sip some sap.
Yeah, gonna try and sustain up. We do see Shiu does have the cleaver done now. Gonna be TPing towards mid. But I actually think that DK can just take that kill as is and play for Dragon instead.
That's a good
Area
angle.
won't be here in time, and it looks like that's what they're gonna do. I say his Barrel. I thought Barrel would be able to grab TP. Looks like they are just playing. They're not playing for Otacon. They are learning.
This is insanity. 4 seconds until that dragon is up, and they have done their homework. Like, look at all of this setup. This is what Wolf has been asking for the whole time. Play around where you have control.
I'm shocked. I'm vexed.
I'm excited because we might have silver scrapes in DK versus T1 in 2025.
Hey, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, okay? Maybe
Yeah, no.
DK, they just
It's not
start
KT.
Otacon.
We're safe.
No, and it's not about the excitement part. It's just the Otacon angle. That's an aggressive satchel, but a lot of damage.
Yeah, Hyperprox coming on through there. Shu is going to back away, though, as Doran moves into the fog of war.
All right, so DK, they feel the control, but it's tenuous. They don't want to give it up. Guma
have
is still on
Maokai.
free items.
Like, the setup is really good for
No, their
this team,
setup is
just
incredible.
because they have a tree.
Again, it's this is Soul Point, by the way, for DK.
Yeah.
And this is feeling like game number 1, Atlas, not like game number 2 and 3.
Yeah, this one, some vibes being held on to here
What
by
if-
DK. Get themselves that soul point as
T1
T1.
Baron.
Oh, God. If they just do Baron and win the game, I'm going to feel pretty robbed.
It'd be so funny, though.
It would be so DK and so T1
Yes.
all at the same time. And
Just
then it
when
would
you
be a
believe.
3-1. It's like exactly as everyone predicted, apart from the ones that are trying to cope, like myself, and only myself.
I was about to say, like, if you predict a 3-0, I don't know if that's cope.
No, that's not. It's just me. I was only talking about me.
You were the only free tour, right?
I was. Everyone else was at least
Atlas,
3-1 for T1.
I think that timeline might still be might still be alive. As a Void staff, I actually really like it.
I mean, the game isn't over, so obviously it's still alive.
As
we're going to bring it up once again. Let's have a look. Let's do a little bit of a double check.
No,
the guy on the left is a moron. Oh, wait, that's me. And that is still theoretically possible. But everyone else, yeah, 3-1 or 3-0s, and that's a lot of 3-0s.
There is also obviously the forbidden one where we are all wrong and DK somehow wins this series.
No, but that's not a prediction. The thing is, like, upsets can happen.
No, we should have
predicting an upset makes it not an upset, and that's a bit, you know?
Okay, well, we have actually very different philosophies on this. I feel like there have been explanations for why people predict a somewhat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which I think are valid. I think in this one though, coming out of planes, I
would say that there's not an angle.
There is no angle.
But there is always also an angle.
There is always an angle.
Because it's DK and they have a Nexus as well as T1. Like, it's the same. We're placed onto the Rift in the same standing.
With this game, the way it is, I think the game is so hard for T1 to play out because their only real damage is Guma. So you can see the itemization as well, like Shiu has the defensive boots, Lucid has gone for Randuin's, Showmaker is about to finish his Lord Doms, by the way, which is going to be
difficult for Doran.
Crazy amount of damage. Aiming is full one-tap mode.
Yep. And he's 204 as well. So this Ziggs is getting pretty large.
There needs to be a very, very well executed one-member assassination by T1. I think for them to win in this game. There it is. There's the Lord Doms. So they need to find a member. It can be Showmaker, it can be Aiming, it can be Shiu. I don't know if it can be Lucid, kind of depends on whether he gets his ult off or not. That is blown up at the beginning of a fight so that Guma is in front. If it's a slow, we're just sitting there and poking, I think DK take it. The poke from Aiming, even a couple of autos from Showmaker can be huge, but it's T1, so you know they're starting that Baron.
Yep. Gumayushi now with a Calibrum, bit of long-range weaponry, but this is going down so quickly. Showmaker needs to get over here. Nature's Grasp comes down, but Doran's buying so much time, and the Baron is secured. Doran has to try and flash, but he can't click on the lantern. There is too many wards as the hook goes wide, and now she was just trying to hold them in position. Is this outer turret going to be enough? That's the question.
There's no way.
Area tanking a fair bit of damage there.
There's no way.
They're fishing a barrel, and this is a Ziggs composition.
Oh my god, the poke! They're just gonna keep on poking!
Exactly, Faker's gonna try and wall his way out. Beryl in a lot of trouble as the buffer doesn't quite work out. The Vault Breaker is going to break it. DK still trying to get this poke down as Ona doesn't find the angle for the Vault Breaker there. Shiu's still lurking off to the side. This is almost comical, but T1 are desperate to keep these Barons up as the hop gets Shiu out of there, but that means T1 now have an avenue to safety. DK will be able to take down this turret, but they do lose the Baron. Oh my goodness, that was ridiculous. That looked like T1 were all dead. They played it about as well as they could and got out with 4 alive.
High successful. If there's a wave there, maybe there's an angle. But there wasn't. Like the barrel doesn't actually find the engage as big as, T1. This play goes back 4 years.
Yeah.
Nice attempt there from Aiming. I would say though, if he has his ultimate for the actual play, they probably can dive. But I get trying to go for the 50-50, right? Ziggs,
and he still hit all of them with the ultimate.
Yeah, but Ziggs does so much damage. I think that's warranted. Barrel getting caught here, I don't think matters too much.
Oh god, if they also get Otacon just for free, I would say
we did kind of highlight that. It would be very T1, very DK.
Yeah, DK are just not here.
Well, they can't be because they're behind on tempo because they didn't have Nash, right? So finding for Prio is very hard. They're looking for somewhat of a collapse here, it does look like. They're just trying to stall, right? They only have a minute of Baron left.
They'd like to get a soul.
And also, that is the big one here. Oh, that poke.
That's getting decent now. But if Aiming's picked off, Doran, remember, can always just go in.
It's just such a good Ziggs angle, right? As a Faker's going to try and split it. We have Owner in the pit. Might be a 50-50.
Get the steal, that's the question. There's the wall going down. They split off the Dragon, but Lucid gets out of the way of the seismic shot. Gets it! Smite going to Lucid, and they got blow up Owner immediately. The hook onto Gumayushi is massive. So's his ultimate, but the AoE. Showmaker with the double buster shot into the Nas setup, man. That alley-oop between the top and mid of DK is gorgeous. And Doran just Caught licking his wounds. He was a zombie, so never mind. It's a clean ace. Well, Barrel's dead, but that's as close to a clean ace as this team gets.
Only one man knew, the Barrel Whisperer himself.
No, I did not know. I refuse to let anyone congratulate me. That is not allowed. It was 100% cope. And I am still coping to this day as these Nexus turrets are going down, and DK, cue up the silver scrapes, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to Game 5.
There is no world in which, if you would have come in today and told me DK are going to bring T1 to a Game 5